Well, everybody, the Guardians just wrapped up an electric game number 2 in the MLB Playoffs wildcard series over on ESPN. An absolute banger of a game. Came down to like the final inning. Sean McDermott on the call. It was absolutely crazy, and I cannot wait for game number 3 tomorrow. Now, in other news, of course, by the time y'all are seeing this, I'm sure the Cubs will have wrapped up their game. It's currently going on by the time I'm recording this video. Sorry for the late videos today, but that's just the way it's going to be. We're going to have one at 5, we'll have one at 6, and we'll have one at 7. Of course, NFL predictions wrapping up the day. So stay tuned for that. Of course, in today's video, we are going to be reacting to the ACC games that were played this weekend. So hit that sub button, leave a comment down below so you don't miss out on any of our latest videos. Also, Friday night, I will be on the campus of UMS Wright Preparatory School as they take on Centinel. It's going to be an absolute banger of a matchup, and I cannot wait for it on Friday night. Obviously, we do have St. Michael and Jackson, which we'll talk about in an AHSAA prediction video coming either tomorrow or Friday. So stay tuned for that. Hit that sub button, leave a comment down below so you don't miss out on any of our latest videos. And without further ado, let's go ahead and predict or react to these ACC Week number 5 matchups. Alright, so kicking us off on Friday night, an absolute banger and a crazy game it was the Virginia Cavaliers hosting the Florida State Seminoles, the number 8 team in the country, all hyped up right now. They're undefeated, 3-0, coming off that win against Bama. Obviously, they overlooked Virginia, and Virginia is now 4-1 on the year and 2-0 in ACC conference play. I'm telling y'all, this Virginia team is built different. Obviously, Thomas Castellanos still played a really good game, 254 yards, 1 touchdown on the day. The Virginia running back had about 100 yards and 1 touchdown on the day as well. The defense for Virginia, though, played lights out ball towards the end of the game. And that ultimately is what got Virginia the win. And that storm the field rush was absolutely crazy. It was cinema. And again, that's why we love college football, ladies and gentlemen. Virginia getting the job done at home, upsetting number 8 Florida State in the country. And it was just an absolute banger. Now, moving on to the game that I almost had right, a 1-point game. Literally, if Wake Forest would have gotten the 2-point conversion, they would have won the game. Georgia Tech on the road in Wake Forest. Haynes King, 242, 1 touchdown on the day. Of course, Claiborne, the running back for Wake, 2 rushing touchdowns. I thought he had a really solid day, about 120 yards rushing or so for the Wake Forest running back. So good on Wake Forest, as they were looking like they were getting the ball to their playmakers. And this Georgia Tech team is shocking a lot of people right now in the ACC, because a lot of people thought they weren't going to be anything, especially when you lose Eric Singleton, a guy like him, to the Auburn Tigers this past offseason. But Haynes King right now has been balling out. Their team is 5-0 for a reason, and they are going to be a threat in ACC conference play. It could potentially come down to that final week where they play Georgia, and who knows what could happen there. But we shall see when it comes time for that. Now, moving on to a blowout matchup, and I was very shocked to see this blowout matchup, but I'm wearing the Duke shirt anyway, so let's talk about it. The Duke Blue Devils going into the Syracuse Orange. Man, this game was really wonky. Syracuse defense absolutely just crapped the bed. Duke getting the job done behind quarterback Minosa, I believe is how you say his name. 22 of 28, 268 yards, 2 passing touchdowns on the day for him. So a very solid day, but it was the Duke running back, in my opinion, who was the MVP of the day. 2 rushing touchdowns, 170 yards on the ground, an absolute day for the Duke running back, as they are now 3-0, a very nice bounce back win coming off of that loss to Illinois, where they shot themselves in the foot multiple times. So I was very interested to see how Duke was going to bounce back, and they bounced back with a huge big-time win on the road at Syracuse. I'm very interested to see what this Duke team can do in ACC conference play further down the line. It took them a little bit to get going, but now that they're going, they've got some unstoppable dudes, man. I'm telling you, that quarterback and running back, the backfield for Duke is really solid, and I'm very excited to watch them here in ACC conference play. So Duke getting the win on the road at Syracuse in New York. Now, moving on to the next matchup here was a different type of game. It was Louisville going into Pittsburgh. Had some offense, had some defense. Pretty fun game. Miller Moss, the transfer quarterback from USC, 33 of 51, 339, 3 passing touchdowns on the day. And ultimately, for me, that's what got Louisville the win. You got to go in the transfer portal and get guys that are going to get you wins like that. Miller Moss obviously didn't work out at USC last year, enters the transfer portal to Louisville, where it looks like that they have been playing really good ball. They're 4-0 on the year, 1-0 to start conference play. Yes, they went on the road to play a lackluster Pitt team, but Pitt put up some points. They put up a fight, especially in that second half where they did have the lead going into halftime, but in that fourth quarter, they find a way to come back. The Louisville Cardinals behind quarterback Miller Moss, and that ultimately is what's going to set you up for the future in ACC conference play. So, very interested to watch the Louisville Cardinals as they get the job done on the road in Pitt. Now, moving on to another very close game, and I was very shocked to see this. Cal going on the road to Boston College, beating them, but only by 4 points. Yes, the quarterback for Cal, I know, 254, 2 passing touchdowns on the day. Not a very bad day at the office by whatsoever for the Cal quarterback. They are 4-1 in the year. They're 1-0 to start ACC conference play. I don't think anybody saw Brian Harsin and company going this or getting the amount of wins that they have right now. Obviously, 4-0 or 4-1 is a big deal. Yes, they did lose last week, but I thought this week was a very nice bounce-back win for the California Golden Bears. So, again, very interested to see what Cal and Brian Harsin has in store for the 2025 ACC Conference Play season. But for now, they start out 1-0 on the year. Virginia Tech at NC State, another very close matchup. Lots of close games in the ACC this weekend. Kind of the underrated conference of the week, if you're asking me. But Virginia Tech does get the job done on the road at NC State. Of course, the Hokies, Carter Braley, I believe is the quarterback's name for NC State. Let me know in the comments down below. Led the game, 242 touchdown passes on the day, but thanks to the defense, the Virginia Tech Hokie defense, getting the job done. They are now 2-3 and start off conference play 1-0 on the year. I'm very shocked about that because we all know what happened with Virginia the first couple of weeks on the season. So to see that they get a win on the road at NC State, who did beat Duke a couple of weeks ago, is very interesting to say the least, and I'm very curious to watch this Virginia Tech team in conference play. And then to round us out on Saturday, of course, you had San Jose State going into Stanford, and I predicted this one right. I said it was going to be a very close game, and it was. Obviously, the San Jose State quarterback led the way. 473 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, but he did take a lot of shots down the field, and ultimately that is what got Stanford the W. The defense stepping up for the Cardinals as they are now 2-0 at home, 2-3 starting out the year. So good on them. Very curious to see how they do in conference play as well. But that is going to round it out for these ACC reaction video. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn that bell on as we do our best to post on this channel every single day. Up next, we'll have ACC predictions, so stay tuned for that. We'll also have NFL predictions later today, so stay tuned. Hit that sub button, leave a comment down below so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.